expenses are, where the money is going, what are we spending money on, and does this align with our values and what we want to see happen with our lives. When you're combining finances, it's a great idea to look at expenses and see if there's any overlap. Are there things that you're both spending money on that one of you can cut out and you can only have, one account on that? Are there ways to be more efficient and cut out the excesses? So for example, if you're both paying memberships to certain subscription services, maybe one person cancels it and both of you can use that service. Is there an overlap? Are there things that we can consolidate? Netflix, Spotify, Amazon Prime accounts, for example, right? Those things don't seem like big expenses, but they do add up, and it does mean extra money that could be going towards your goals. And the other expenses that go into merging finances and merging your lives, living expenses, for example. When we talk about spending, we also want to talk about the future, right? What are the big purchases that we both understand we want to make, and how are we going to handle those? So the biggest one is usually buying a home for people who want to get married, want to have that partnership, and want to have a bigger place to live and also raise a family. So buying a home is a big one. Talk about that expenditure, talk about how much you think that's going to cost, realistically how much you can save up to afford that expenditure, and what the time frame is on making that purchase. And again, you're laying the foundation for these money conversations around expenses, especially the major ones, right? How do we decide on what's affordable and what's not? What is the proper time frame for this decision? And are there other ways to go about financing this, or are there other things that we can do as a substitute to this expense? To that point, there is a big difference between being able to make the payment and actually being able to afford something, and both of you need to be on the same page about this. It's one thing to just be able to make a payment, but if you can't afford to fund other parts of your life, your retirement, your day-to-day activities, because one payment is taking up so much of your income, you can't afford that. And that is something that both partners need to understand and be on the same page about. Now, hopefully when you're combining your finances, your income is at a good level, your expenditures and spending is at a lower level, and you're banking the difference, right? You are spending less than you make, and there is a surplus at the end of every month or at the end of the year.